Baseball to the NBA. A big one. The last two champs facing off in Boston. Celtics versus the Thunder. OKC is rolling again. 12 straight wins, and the Thunder are healthy with Jalen Williams back after missing 16 games with a hamstring injury. Boston trying to fully integrate Jason Tatum in his return from that Achilles tear. This is the most likely finals matchup according to the betting odds, with the Thunder, the title favorites, the Celtics, the second favorites. Tonight is the first time Boston has been a home dog with both Brown and Tatum in the lineup in the Joe Mazzulla era. Okay, on the scene in Boston is senior NBA writer Vince Goodwill, as he joins us now with more. Vince, so two teams looking to make a deep run in the playoffs. Both have stars who returned just in time this spring, starting with Jalen Williams. What's the process been like coming back to the starting lineup?
Well, Kevin, Jalen Williams, I talked to him this morning at shoot-around, and he told me the first game isn't the issue. It's the second and third games coming back from injury. The second game he had last month against the Phoenix Suns, that's when he felt a pull, and he wound up missing the next 6 weeks. So tonight is a bit of a hurdle. He also told me, look, during my rehab, I wound up rehabbing a little bit, then I rested and kept my body warm, and then I went back out there to simulate NBA basketball. So tonight is a different type of hurdle. On the Boston side, we all know Jason Tatum coming back from that Achilles injury. He's looking at this like as a way to get back to being the Jason Tatum that he was. He said he expected to be back to being the all-NBA version of himself. That has not been the case. He's only shooting 38 from the field, 29 from three. The last two games, he shot 9 of 31. So like you said, Kevin, it's an integration process, and the Celtics, with that, are still 6-2 during those 8 games.
They still play defense, and it's time for the three-point play featuring Kendrick Perkins, Brian Windhorst, and giving us their points about NBA games tonight. Great to have sports betting analyst Aaron Dolan to give us a play. Now the reigning champs, they take on the Celtics in what could be a NBA Finals preview tonight in Boston. Perk, what point do you want to make about the Celtics tonight?
Well, it's 2 points. The number one point is I feel like the Celtics need to come out and have their statement win against the defending champs. Number two, I wish all the noise and the nonsense about Jason Tatum messing up the Celtics offense, that needs to stop. Everybody need to keep a cool booty. This man is back from an Achilles injury, playing 28 to 30 minutes a night right now. I understand his shooting percentages are not high, but give him a little bit more time, and we're going to see the Jason Tatum of old, and he's going to help the Celtics get back to the NBA fight.
Wendy, what point do you want to make about the Thunder?
Has anybody noticed that Jalen Williams has come back from his hamstring injury, and he announced that his wrist, which had 2 surgeries in the offseason, is now 100% healthy? Because I think that might be a kind of an important thing going forward in the West playoffs. By the way, he came back and scored 18 points in 20 minutes in his first game back. Warning to the rest of the West.
Aaron, what's the play here?
I would take the 2.5 points with the Boston Celtics. OKC has been terrible for bettors in this 12-game win streak, going 3-9 against the spread. It's also a tough spot for them, being their 5th road game. And as for the Boston Celtics, like Perk said, they need a statement win. And this team only lost by 2 points to OKC about a few weeks ago. They were 9-point dogs without Jason Tatum on the court in that one. This is going to be a good game at home. I would take the 2.5 points.
All right, you mentioned a good game. How about later on ESPN? We're going to see Rockets visiting the Timberwolves. These teams are neck and neck, sitting at 5th and 6th in the West. Perk, what point do you want to make about the Timberwolves?
Well, we all know in order to win the NBA championship, every Batman needs their Robin. And Julius Randle is the Robin to Anthony Edwards. But since the All-Star break, he has been stinking it up. He has not been himself. He is averaging around 17 points per game. And in order for the Timberwolves to take that next leap, a team that last year went to the conference finals is going to have to happen with the help of Julius Randle, and he's going to have to elevate his play to the all-NBA level play in order for them to compete and make a real run in a tough Western Conference.
Man, the West is so stacked. Wendy, what point do you want to make about this game?
Listen, 4, 5, and 6 in the West is essentially tied right now. These are two teams that are tied for it. They do play one more time. But if you want home court in the playoffs, you're going to have to win this game tonight. And since Aaron ignored my warning about Jalen Williams, I'm sure she will recognize that this is a vital win for the Timberwolves to get. And she will recognize this game means a ton to the Timberwolves.
Aaron, no pressure. What bet do you like in this one?
So I like the Houston Rockets to win this game outright. Sorry about that, Wendy, there. But look, I just think they can get it done tonight. It's not going to be easy on the road, and we know that typically they struggle in the second half of games, but the big advantage for them is going to be their health. And as for Minnesota, we know that Anthony Edwards isn't going to be playing in this game. And as for the last 2 games, the offense has really struggled with him being sidelined. I will say the defense has looked really good, but they need to put up points as well. So I'm just going to take Houston to win this one outright.
Whitty, your thoughts?
No points. Kev, she gave it to me with no points. Just be aware of that as we watch how this plays out.
I love that. All right, we're going to keep an eye on how that plays out tonight. Only 2.5 games separate the Lakers in third from the Rockets in the 6th spot in the West. You can watch this one tonight, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Thank you, guys.
With you on SportsCenter, so much discussion about the NBA rule that says players must play 65 games to be eligible for postseason awards. It certainly sounded like a good idea to limit tanking and load management, but now we have some great players with real injuries that could miss out on not just awards, but also the dollars that are linked to those awards. Cade Cunningham is the latest, feeling the heat. The debate is our take 2.
To me, reform is the way to go, not abolish. Reform. That's what we want to do.
A decade ago, 92% of the All-Stars played at least 65 games.
I like the number. My question is now, though, maybe there's an exception to the rule.
We don't make any exceptions now because you're annoyed that one of your players had an injury. Tough. This is professional sports.
You give a player a chance to manipulate it, bend it, make it work for them a little bit, they're going to make it work.
Last season, 77% of All-Stars in the NBA played in at least 65 games.
These are voters. Let the voter decide.
The year before the rule was instituted, do you know what that number was? 59%.
Should be at least some type of nuance to it, right? There should be something with a voter that can say, this case, we can make an exception.
All right, enough of those guys. I want to know what Big Perk thinks about this. Our NBA analyst, Kendrick Perkins, where are you on this discussion, Perk?
On the NBA side of things, because I don't want to hear about the current players right now complaining, and they doing all that crying. What the babies go do, Hannah? First of all, they made this bed. They have to lay in it. And when you talk about giving and maxing out, putting your bodies on the line night in and night out, this is what you sign up for. We've witnessed greats from Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant. Those guys walked into seasons wanting to play 75 to 82 games a season. The reason that this rule is in place anyway is because load management came about. And guys were not showing up for games because of load management and cheating the fan base. So again, don't cry about it now because some of the guys are suffering the consequences because of things that happened 2-3 years ago before this rule was put in place. I'm the one that's standing on the NBA side of things. You're getting paid $50, $60, $70 million a year to go out there and perform and be available.
It was also collectively bargained, right? So the Players Association did agree to this, but now we have the Pistons. Without Cade Cunningham, they've won 4 in a row. What have we learned about this team that leads the East?
That they've embraced who the hell they are, and that's an ugly bunch. And I say that in a great way. They're a team that embraces their identity. Their identity is on the defensive side of things. Their identity is physicality. Their identity is getting into your face and making you smell their cologne. They want the game to be ugly. They want you as a viewer to watch the game and say, I don't like this. I don't like it because it's not a lot of offense. This is defense. This is old school basketball. And this is who they've been since the start of the season, and they've stayed true to their identity. And you know what's crazy, Hannah, is that they're missing still. Not only Cade Cunningham, they're missing one of the best rim protectors in the game and one of their enforcers in Isaiah Stewart. This is a blessing in disguise because what's happening is the other guys, like Jenkins, like Tobias Harris, who are on the perimeter, are gaining confidence. And when Cade comes back, it's going to be hell and hot water for the rest of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it can only help in terms of your depth, and they've hung on to that #1 seed. They host the Hawks at 7 Eastern tonight. There's another game. I bet you've heard about this one in Boston tonight. The Thunder and the Celtics. What are you watching for in this one, Big Perk?
I'm looking at the Celtics. I'm looking at Tatum. I need them to make a statement tonight to the champs. Over their last 6 meetings, they're 5-1 right now. Oklahoma City is against the Boston Celtics, and I need them to stand on business. I need Jaylen Brown to make a case and go toe-to-toe with SGA that I'm still in this MVP conversation. I need Jason Tatum to remind the world that I'm still that Jason Tatum, but I need to get my legs up under me, but I'm still here to produce and add to this Joe Mazzulla system. I need them to show a level of physicality from the top to the bottom, and I need their bench to match OKC depth on their bench because OKC still has the deepest team in the NBA.
And they're fully healthy. They are loaded. Big Perk, we'll see you at 6.